All right, welcome back to Texas Silver. We're gonna go over silver today. But first of all, before we start, I keep getting a shout out from Jared. He has a YouTube channel that is Revert to Means. So revert, the number 2, and then means. He seems like a like-minded individual like myself. If you would like, go check out his channel. You might like what he puts out for content. And I just wanted to thank him for giving me the shout outs that he has. Remember to like, share this video, hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel. And this may be a good video to show someone that you're trying to get started in stacking. This may clear some stuff up for them, answer some questions. So let's get started. So when I started stacking, silver was probably in around 2016. We had just gotten a new leader in the White House, and I was under the assumption that, you know, he was going to fix everything and everything was going to be great. And I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I used to watch a lot of prepping YouTube videos and stuff. And, you know, I started realizing that things weren't being fixed. And, you know, it really started opening my eyes. I started watching, you know, gold and silver videos. I used to make fun of everyone that did gold and silver. I was like, why do I need gold and silver if, you know, I have, you know, these things right here? And so I just didn't see the value in it, the reason why anyone would do that. So what I did for pretty much started in 2008 when I really started waking up. My concern was that I thought that our Second Amendment was going to be the thing that sparked all this. And so I was very heavy in buying this stuff and this stuff right here. And as time went by, it started to evolve, and I was really concerned with the monetary system. And so now I'm of the mindset that it's not going to be this thing right here that's going to set, you know, this crash that's coming. It's going to be the monetary system. And guys, during this video, these are what I believe. Also know that I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just what I'm doing, and this is for educational purposes. So back to the silver thing. So I really was concerned with the direction of the monetary system and what I thought was coming. And so I started to heavily stack silver. So a huge influence that really woke me up. This guy is awesome, probably because he's a Marine, but it's Chris Dwayne, and he has a channel, The Greatest Truth Never Told. Super brilliant guy, super awake. Probably one of the most knowledgeable people, at least on YouTube, about silver. You know, there's other great guys out there, but Chris is just incredible. So check out his channel if you haven't. He has a lot of really good content, and he actually does mini mintages where they, you know, he does different rounds that he puts out weekly, and some of the designs are really cool. I actually have some of his stuff, but I would check that out. And that again is The Greatest Truth Never Told. So Chris, I doubt you're watching this, but I appreciate, brother, what you're doing for this community, and for what you did for this country and Semper Fi. So what you need to what I'm going to recommend you get first is going to be what is called constitutional or junk silver. So this is going to be your dimes, dimes, quarters, half dollars, silver dollars that were minted by the U.S. that are the year 1964 and older. There are some nickels out there. They're called war nickels. I think they're 1941, 42, and 43. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to look that up, but I believe those are 35% silver. So there are some nickels out there with silver. Also, there's some half dollars that have like 40% silver. But pretty much what I like is, because it's 90% silver, is 1964 and older, dimes, quarters, half dollars, silver dollars. So what that's going to look like, I would recommend these first. All right. These are your dimes right here. Okay. These are 90% 90% silver. I recommend those because these are for bartering. So these are kind of like your dollar bills, okay? You don't want to be running around with a bunch of $100 bills. So these are what I would recommend. You need to stack a lot of these for bartering. Also, quarters are good too. You know, same thing. But these are 90%, you know, silver. So I would recommend having a healthy amount. I'm not going to throw a number out there, guys. It's whatever you can afford. And whatever you feel comfortable with. But before you start buying any large denominations of silver, that's what I would get first. A lot of times the premium is lower on your constitutional or junk silver because it's already been minted by the government. So the government has already essentially paid the cost to mint that. So before the prices exploded over the last couple years and premiums went up, you used to be able to get some of that stuff for like 39, 49 cents over spot. Now it's actually gone up quite a bit. You do also have half dollars, okay? 90% silver, maybe get some of those. And then obviously you have like your silver dollars. All right, also 90% silver. The premium is normally a little bit higher on your silver dollars, so I would maybe recommend, unless you wanted them for collecting value, the premiums are generally, from what I've noticed, a little bit higher. And then at this point, you might as well be looking into rounds and coins, your 1 ounce. So in my opinion, half dollars and below are probably the best for stacking for bartering purposes. And again, guys, this is just my opinion. Okay, I'm going to go into the difference between coins and rounds. So your rounds are going to be privately minted. Generally, the premium on those are lower, but it just depends. There are some rounds out there that do carry a high premium. A lot of times, if you're paying a low premium in the beginning, when you go to sell them, you're pretty much only going to get spot price or maybe just slightly over spot. Spot price is the paper price that's traded on the market. So whenever you buy silver, you're going to pay the amount of silver that you get. You'll pay the spot price plus the premium on the coin or bar that you get. Okay, so some examples of rounds is going to be like this. This is a Buffalo. These are pretty popular. They're minted by a bunch of different private mints out there. This is one that actually this one carries a pretty high premium. This is a Scottsdale. It's a 5 ounce round stacker. I would recommend probably not getting this just because you're gonna pay a higher premium, but when you go to sell it, you probably will recoup some of that premium. The reason why I got these is I just really, really wanted these. I thought they were cool, so I was willing to pay the higher premium. But if you're just looking to stack a lot of silver without paying the high premium, rounds are probably the way to go, in my opinion. I actually do not have any 1 ounce bars. I normally get the 10 ounce, 100 ounce bars. If I get a 1 ounce, I normally get coins. But there's nothing wrong with bars, ladies and gentlemen. That's just what I prefer. Okay, so we're gonna go into coins. So coins are actually minted by the government and will have a monetary amount. So this is American Silver Eagle. If you're gonna get coins, this is what I would recommend. Reason being is this is the most recognizable coin, and this is actually, well, and that's actually upside down. This is the most recognizable coin that is in the world. This is actually the new one, 2021. It's the new design. I have an old design as well, which is right here. And this is what your, man, why do I suck? So this is your traditional one right here that everyone is familiar with. Okay, this is what I would stack the most of if you're gonna do coins. You're gonna pay a lot higher premium with those, but when you go to sell them, you'll get probably most of your premium back. Obviously not all of it. Probably the second most popular coin out there is gonna be your Canadian Maple Leaf. That's what the front looks like. And then the back, you know, has the leaf. So this actually has, it says $5 on the bottom. And the Eagles, you know, have $1. So they're actually technically currency, but no one's gonna sell it for that amount because the silver content's worth a lot more. Okay, so once you feel like your stack is starting to, you know, grow and get to a pretty decent size, or at least that's what I did. Once I had a lot of a constitutional and lower denomination, meaning like 1 ounce coins and bars and rounds, that's when I started buying bars. And the reason why I did is because generally you can get more silver and not pay as much premium. This isn't always the case. There are good sales and you can get 1 ounce stuff for, you know, a couple dollars over spot. When I first started, you used to be able to get it for sometimes 49 cents over spot. It was crazy, but the days of that are over, at least for now. So, you know, you can go into bars after this. These are 10 ounce ones from Texas Precious Metals. Okay. And then this is actually my favorite bar here. And this is why I shop with Texas Precious Metals, because I love their bars. But look at that thing. It's awesome. I love this bar. Little Texas is in the back. And this, just when you touch this, it just feels incredible. It's over 6 pounds of silver in your hand. And it's very deceiving how much this thing weighs. It doesn't look like it weighs that much. And then when you hold it, it's like, wow. It's just really cool to feel real money. And then this here is another one. But I've been buying a lot of 100 ounce bars just because I think they're really cool. I know a lot of people will probably say that that's not smart because it's hard to break it down and trade with it and all that. But that's why I have, you know, this stuff here. So when you buy larger bars or coins, generally you're gonna pay a little bit less premium for those. Another thing you can do is you can wait for sales. A lot of times JM Bullion, SD Bullion, and the reason why I'm gonna recommend these companies is because I've dealt with them. There's other great companies out there. I'm not saying these are the only companies that you should shop through. Online, these are just ones that I've used and had, you know, good rapport with. Okay. Other places that you can get silver is from your local coin dealer. I would just caution you, just make sure that the coin shop you're going is reputable. The places that I go have been around for probably 20, 30, 40 years, maybe even longer. One of them in Austin, I think has been around for, they may have been around for 100 years. But, you know, I trust what I'm getting there. They test the coins and bars and whatever they get in to make sure that what they are selling is you know, what you think you're getting. Another thing that I like about the coin shops is generally you can go in there with cash. And if you're really concerned about your purchases being completely private, that's where I would go. The coin shop that I take, they know my name now because I go in there all the time and I've talked to them. But in the beginning, they didn't ask for my name. They just wrote a receipt, what it was and the amount, but they didn't put my name on it. So I could go in there with cash. There was no record of my purchase. And then I would walk out with the metal. So a lot of people only like to deal with pawn shops, and we'll go into that, or coin dealers because of the privacy. Okay, so anytime you buy from a dealer online, there's obviously gonna be a paper trail because you're gonna have to either do a check or some sort of wire transfer to get that metal, or a credit card. So there's always gonna be a paper trail. I'm gonna caution you with pawn shops. That's another place to go. Just make sure when you go in there that you know what you're talking about. You probably need to be really experienced if you're gonna buy from a pawn shop, or otherwise they're probably gonna take you to the cleaners. You need to go in there knowing what the spot price is and generally what something would go for. And if you need a reference, you could go, you know, say you're trying to buy some silver dollars. You could probably go on to a site like SD or JM Bullion, type in the product and see what they're selling it for to kind of get, you know, ballpark range of what that item should be selling for. But I do not buy from pawn shops. I'm just afraid that I'm going to get something that is counterfeit. So I'm going to caution you with pawn shops. From what I've noticed, your best prices are generally from your online dealers, and they do sales and stuff like that. Generally, your local coin shops are probably gonna have a little bit higher premium, but you have also the convenience of you walk in, put your cash on the table, and you walk out with your medals, you know, that day. So that I like. Be careful, you can buy stuff on eBay, other stuff online, also like Facebook Marketplace. Just be very careful. Just make sure that the dealer that you're buying from, say on eBay, is a reputable dealer. So see who the actual dealer is, and say if it is JM Bullion or SD Bullion or something like that selling it, then you know that it's coming from a reputable dealer. So I have heard there's good deals on there. I've never purchased from eBay or online like that, say Facebook Marketplace, but just make sure you know who you're going through. Also, I think you can look at the reviews and see if other people have purchased through them. Just be very careful buying online. If you're new to this, I would probably stay away from stuff like that. I would go to also another one is Apmex. I've been on their site. I've just never used them, but from what I've heard, they're also a good place to get metals from as well. Okay. Another place you could do is buying from an individual. And, you know, the thing there is, you know, you can probably get a decent deal off of them, especially if they don't really know what they have. I'm not telling you to do anything that's unethical, but they're probably not going to be asking for a high premium off their stuff. So hopefully whoever you're buying from kind of has a working knowledge of what they're selling, but you could possibly get a good deal from someone because they don't have the overhead of a business. Okay. Also, if you're going to buy from an individual, just be careful. Know who you're dealing with. If it's someone you don't know, I would meet in a public place. Maybe bring someone else with you. Okay. All right, I want to talk about premiums a little bit more. So generally when you buy around, and I know I kind of went over this, but whenever you buy around, generally the premium is not as high. But then when you go to sell it to a dealer or an individual, you're probably not going to recoup much of that premium. You're probably going to get spot price. Nowadays, stuff has kind of changed. You'll probably at least get, you know, maybe $1 over spot if you're trading in. Now, if you buy coins or a specialty, you know, like this one, I would probably get a little bit higher premium on, even though it's not a coin. But your coins carry a little bit higher premium when you buy them in the beginning. Thus, when you sell them, you normally recoup a lot of your premium. Okay. So how I buy silver is generally I'm kind of putting money aside and I'm waiting for, you know, the market to take a dip. So, you know, lately silver has been coming down, you know, it's been fluctuating. It'll go up a little bit, but the trend in the last month or so has been down. Right now, I do think silver is at a good buying price point. Also with gold, I do buy gold, but very little. I just love silver. I think it's gonna perform better over time, but that's another video. So I wanted to go over the places that I buy. So I buy from JM Bullion, SD Bullion, Texas Precious Metals, and then I have 2 coin shops locally that I buy from. The dealer that I have the most through is Texas Precious Metals. The reason why I buy through them is they're the first dealer that I ever bought my silver through. And I don't think you can show up in person, but you used to be able to show up in person with cash, pay and walk out with the medals. And I loved that about them. It's no longer available, but I still love their products. And they're also a Texas-based company, so that's why I support them. SD Bullion is probably the second place that I've purchased the most metal from. And the reason why is I think they have some of the best pricing out there. There's probably other online dealers. Those are just JM Bullion, SD Bullion are the main ones that I normally check if I'm trying to get some silver either on sale or low premiums. Another reason why I like the Texas stuff is they have a new line out that's really cool. And it's each year they're coming out with it. This one is the Battle of the Alamo. I don't know if you can see that. And then the front obviously is the Texas seal and the star. This one is the Battle of Gonzales. And they have two more that are coming out in this series. And I just think they're really neat. Same thing, Texas on the front. And then their older stuff, each year or two, they would change the back. And this is one of my favorite ones here, but it's the Texas Longhorns that are on it. So I just really like their stuff. And I know I push Texas Precious Metals, but like I said, Texas company, and I think their products are beautiful. Great service, and the company's been around forever. The shipping's very quick. It's just a good company. I would highly recommend them. But there's other places online to get it from. Comment below who you buy from. I'd be curious. I know there's goldandsilver.com, moneymetals.com, I think, and I mean there's probably dozens of them. Also, Chris Duane's site, it's goldenstatemint.com. Check his stuff out. It's really cool. I do not sell silver. Okay, so if you're thinking about getting into the silver space or gold, again, when I refer to silver, I'm talking silver and gold. This is Texas silver, so I'm gonna talk about silver, but I do like gold, and I'll probably cover that in another video of some of the benefits of gold. Like I said, I think silver's just where it's at for me. Okay, I hold silver. So when I buy it, I'm not buying it thinking I'm going to turn around in a year or two and sell it. I'm in it for the long run. So if you think that you're going to buy silver and get rich quick overnight, you're in the wrong business. You need to look into something else. You need to look into cryptos or the market or some other investments, because silver is not a get rich quick overnight. Okay. I personally think you need to hold your own metals. I have a video on that. You can go back and check that out, where I recommend places to store your metals. If you are going to store it in a vault, I'm going to go back to Texas Precious Metals, but they have an amazing vault. I've been there in person 2 years ago, myself and Jeremiah Babe. Also has a YouTube channel. I'm sure you probably follow him if you follow my channel. But we went in person, saw the vault. Great facility, really secure. It was actually really neat to go in there and see that. But I would recommend you being your own central bank and holding your own metals. So I'm holding on to my metal until I feel that it's in a bubble. So right now, I think it's actually in a depressed bubble. I think it's the most undervalued asset in the world, period. And, but what I think is going to eventually happen is that's going to get flipped and silver is going to be in a bubble. And that's when I'm going to sell my silver. So if you want to know when I'm going to sell, it's going to be when I feel silver is in a bubble. And at that point, you probably won't be wanting to sell your silver for dollars. So if you're wanting to ask like, hey, when are you going to sell? Is it going to be $100 an ounce, $200 an ounce, $1,000 an ounce? No, it'll probably be when I'm literally going to the bank or to an individual and I'm going to be handing them physical silver and saying, get off my ranch, this is mine now, okay? Or to the bank and say, yeah, I want that property. I'm going to throw a 100-ounce bar of silver on the counter. So that's my answer. That's how long I think you should be holding your silver. So again, if you think this is you know, you're going to sell in 6 months, a year or two, in a week or two, silver's going to go to the moon. It's probably not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's a waiting game. You have to have patience to be in metal stacking. For me, silver is an insurance policy. That is how I'm going to transfer my wealth from this paradigm to the next, okay? I think there's going to be the collapse of the dollar, and I think they're going to come out with a digital dollar or a dollar that could be possibly backed by precious metals. But I think the dollar is going to be completely wiped out, and so this is why you need to have metals. This is going to be your vehicle that's going to transfer wealth from this monetary system to the next, okay? I would advise against paper silver. That is how the silver market is manipulated. They manipulate the price by buying silver contracts, and I'm not going to go into all that just because I don't want to get in the weeds about it. But the physical price is controlled by the paper market that's on the stock market exchange. And I would completely advise against any paper silver. It's manipulated. And, you know, for every 1 ounce of silver, they sell that same ounce of silver, physical silver, to like 500 people. So when the dominoes start falling and you're wanting to trade in your paper and have the physical, there's going to be 499 other people that are trying to get that one piece of silver. So it's going to be a game of musical chairs, and you're not going to have a seat. So I would not buy paper silver. Another reason, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. All right. I would not sit on this much longer. If you're wanting to get physical silver or gold, you need to get on this now, especially silver. I don't know if you've been onto some of these websites online, but if you go on there, it seems like 95% of their products are sold out, okay? There is a shortage of metal, silver, that these dealers, they're struggling getting a hold of it. You know, I think there's still quite a bit out there of your 1,000-ounce bars that can be you know, made into the smaller products, you know, the bars and coins. But it takes a while, you know, for that process. But I've been hearing rumblings of like the Perth Mint running out of silver. The U.S. Mint is not even selling American Eagles right now, from what I understand. So what's going on there? So I think there definitely is a physical silver shortage, and I mean, all it's going to take is for probably 1% of the country, maybe even less, to wake up to the value of silver and buy everything up. And I think eventually what's going to happen is silver is not even going to be obtainable. It doesn't matter what the price is, how much money you have, it's not going to be there to buy. So if you want silver, you need to quit letting the grass grow under your feet and get some silver, okay? Okay. Just remember that this is a waiting game, and I know I went over this earlier, but it takes patience, discipline, and if you're in this, you need to be wholeheartedly believing in what you're doing and knowing the reasons and the end game for why you're stacking silver, okay? For me, this is a way of life. This right here is real money, okay? This is in the Constitution, is real money, gold and silver. So I hope that answers some questions. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments below. I'm probably gonna have some more silver videos in the future that come out, maybe the reasons why I stack silver. And then if I've missed some stuff, I'll try and address it on the next video. Thanks again for being here, all the comments, all the support. Y'all are awesome. And guys, keep stacking.